Hello, late May 2025. Still here, still on Mother Earth, watching the planets as they appear to travel around us. Reflecting back what's going on Mother Earth. Transiting Saturn is entering Aries this week, joining Neptune that entered Aries at the end of March. The two of them sitting conjunct side by side, sharing a space. These are polar opposite types of energies. Saturn symbolizes reality. Neptune symbolizes illusion, and they're coming face to face during this next period of months, and then again even stronger in the spring of 2026. Hundreds of years take place before these two will be conjunct again, and since they were last conjunct in Aries, transiting Saturn and transiting Neptune are conjunct every 36 years in the different signs of the zodiac. But in the sign Aries, they're very rare, which is accentuating so much the new beginnings, the new start, the new face to humanity emerging out of this period. And this is all going on, accentuating the new beginnings out of the period that Pluto is shifting into Aquarius in the background. And this is the big reflection of the transformation taking place with our leadership, with power and control and life and death, and how these manifest on the planet. Saturn in Aries and conjunct Neptune as soon as it's in Aries this week, being experienced now. Neptune is illusion. It's the media, perceptions of reality, and these are being played with by the Saturnine people of the world, the leaders, the government leaders. Saturn symbolizes restriction and control. It symbolizes rules and regulations, governments, those in power. Saturn symbolizes the human skeleton and time itself. It symbolizes discipline and control, all structures. These are Saturn things. So this Saturn energy of restriction and blockage is affecting the Neptunian things, and we're seeing a reflection of this in our lives. Neptune symbolizes spirit and humanitarian love and humanitarian spirit. It is spiritual energy. Neptune symbolizes health and the giving of care. Health institutions. It symbolizes music and the media. Now we're seeing the media being used, involved in the perceptions of reality in terms of government, in terms of rules and regulations, and how the factual details of what's going on in the world are being portrayed. The statistical representation from our government leaders is not accurate. It's Neptunian at this time, shall we say. Pluto, changing signs into Aquarius this year, is the planet of, again, power and control. Who's in power? Who's in control? The signs that Saturn and Pluto are in describe the leaders and the power people. The way they demonstrate power is described by the signs these planets are in at the time these people are leaders. So at this time, our leadership in the world is Aquarian in nature. And now it is also Arian in nature. Aries is very, very focused on winning. Aries is focused on independence and being better than everybody else, on fighting if necessary and using force to be the winner. Aries symbolizes weaponry and war as being the rulership Mars involvement. But Aries also symbolizes new beginnings and new starts, and there's a choice when this energy is manifesting. But at present, we're seeing Saturn conjunct Neptune manifesting with the restrictions affecting humanitarian aid, humanitarian food, caring, love. We're seeing this conjunction of Saturn and Neptune manifest with restructuring and restrictions, with the aid going to those less fortunate in the US of A and in other countries where starving people have been dependent on the US humanitarian care for some years, many years. That has all been stopped since Saturn and Neptune started coming together. This is the mirror reflection of what's going on. And this is also what's reflecting the use of the media in the representation of reality and perceptions of reality. So we're seeing rules and regulations coming into all of the food distribution and the distribution of health services in the US of A. Neptune symbolizes pharmaceuticals, drugs, alcohol. It symbolizes so many things, and these Saturnine rules and regulations are going to start showing up with these things or restricting these things in terms of being available to the human population and their needs. Media, movies, talking again about rules and regulations. When we see the food not being allowed into Gaza by Israel, the humanitarian aid, where the people are suffering so desperately, it's hard to fathom. But this is the manifestation of leadership at this time. Historically, when Saturn and Neptune come together, we see leadership in the world that is prone to being power-oriented and self-serving. Despots and dictators and kings and autocrats, they tend to lose their power when Neptune and Saturn have been in conjunction. Certainly with the last time Pluto was in Aquarius, there was the American Revolution. And revolution and revolt and protest seems inevitable in order to see change when you have Neptune and Saturn conjunct like this. So Saturn's going to be in Aries for 3 years, reflecting the limitations going on the planet from the leadership. The last time Pluto entered Aquarius 250 years ago, looking for repeating patterns in astrology, the British Empire was in power. The most powerful leader in the world was the King of England, and the history books refer to that king as Mad King George. Mad King George was in power when the 13 American colonies revolted. And part of the main reason was because Mad King George had raised the taxes so high on the goods that they were trading back and forth and they were receiving from the Americas. Major taxes. 250 years later, we're seeing a very eccentric world leader raising the taxes ridiculously in insane big fashion to all of the countries that the trading takes place with. Now, tariffs are taxes. We're looking at repeating patterns. Aries, Aquarius, descriptive of our leaders. We can be hopeful that Aquarius has many facets. Again, it symbolizes inventiveness and originality. It symbolizes technology and science. Aquarius symbolizes revolution and revolt. The necessity comes out of Aquarius for equality, and it's the sign of humanitarianism. Another thing taking place during the next 3 years, Pluto sextiling Neptune and Saturn, Uranus sextiling Neptune and Saturn. This is like a promise. It's again reflective in this larger mirror of society and humanity becoming into a new phase, a whole new rebirth, a new face to humanity. And the I am principle operating, the universal principle of I am, which is so associated with sign Aries. Who are we? Who are you as an individual? This is a time period when Saturn conjunct Neptune is going to demand that we answer these questions. For the individual, the things of the house Saturn and Neptune are conjunct in, Those things will demand our attention in terms of what is real and what is illusionary. Take care.